Hey everyone, welcome. This is Dr. Vic, and you're listening to The Mindful Experiment. This week, we are diving deep. Again, if you guys ever have an episode that you're interested in listening to or you have a question about, you want me to go deeper into, email me, drvic@empoweryourreality.com. This episode is actually being created because one of the listeners, actually reached out and asked me a question. And I said, I will get to that episode and I'll definitely share it with you. And today is the day that I'm going to go ahead and dive deep into this. I'm really excited to do this. The question was all about intuition versus past experiences. And I think this is something that really affects individuals at many different levels. In life, we have a brain that's there to keep us comfortable, to protect us, and make sure that we don't ever do something that may harm us and may never do something that will affect us in some way or form. But then you have another brain. You can call it the gut brain, or you can call it your intuition, right? Your intuition is something that now science is finally catching up and saying, the intuition is actually a lot smarter than the actual brain itself. And for me, I'm always like, duh, that's obvious. And here's why. I'm writing a book right now called A Walk in the Dark. It'll be released in August. Hopefully that's the goal, end of August. It may be pushed to September, but we're pushing for August. But long story short, I am literally writing a chapter about something like this. And I talk about how much the brain processes information. And in the left part of your brain, that's where more of your past experiences live. This is logic. This is compartmentalizing, trying to keep you comfortable in what you do in your life. And it can only process about 40 to 50 bits of information at a time. It seems like a lot, but it really isn't, because on the other side of your brain, known as the right side, this is where your intuition lives. This is part of the brain that can process up to 20 million bits of information per second. Now, that's a vast difference. Would you agree? Could you say if you can process more information, you can see things a little better, get more insight, and so much more? And that's where total intuition comes in. Now, how do you distinguish between the two is a little interesting. And I always share with my clients that I work with in my one-on-one coaching and my group coaching sessions is that if you ever are getting to a point in your life where you are feeling fear, anxiety, or you're getting scared, you're getting uncomfortable, and you're doing something, you're starting to get those feelings, you are going past your past experiences. You're about to get through a breakthrough. This is known as terror barrier in psychology and things along those nature, where you get to a level of unknown, and when you get there, the brain freaks out. It literally goes like, what the hell? We've never been here before. What's this so scary? This is dangerous ground. This is not comfortable. We don't know if this is safe. What's going to happen here? There could be something happen here. It can wipe us out. It can happen. And it freaks out. How many times you've been there? I know I am. And I think as entrepreneurs and people who want to evolve, who want to be the best version of their life, you have to face that and get comfortable with that every single time. I believe and in my new book, I'll be talking in depth about that, because in reality, you have to go there in order to grow. You can't without that. Now, the other thing about this is your intuition is what guides you. It's your soul's compass. And, it's tough to tell an individual how to tap into their intuition, because intuition shows up different for everybody. Intuition is a feeling. It's something that doesn't need explanation. It doesn't need proof. It just knows. Here's an example. Back in 2014, my wife and I were opening up and we're expanding our office to a new location, rebranding what we do, our name, everything. It's basically like a brand new business. And we were going from a 780 square foot space to 3,000 square feet. Now, from a renting space and an income space from sales, I was looking at, the price, and I talked to my accountant. My accountant's like, that is way too high. I'm not comfortable with that. That's too much. And she's like, you want to be around this percentage compared to where you are. I looked at her and I said, I totally get that. I totally understand that. But I'm telling you right now, I need to do this. Like, I don't have a reason why. I have nothing to explain. I have nothing in me to tell you why. I have no idea. But there's a feeling in me that when I do this, it always works out. I've done this my whole entire life. Whenever I did trust it, right? Whenever I did trust it, I just had to make that, both needed to just move forward and just do what I needed to do and trust that process. And so what ended up happening is when I did that, what was interesting is that it always worked out. From a financial standpoint, when we moved in that new office, my business grew 80%. 80%. We grew another 52% the next year. We 3x'd in 2 years. And it was really cool to see that, because I was like, cool, intuition guided me. You see, intuition, when you follow intuition, there are only some cues I can share here, is that you don't have a lot of fear. It's a lot of more of like an internal confidence. It's something that you just know and you can't explain, but you know. Moms are really good at this, because mothers and most females are a right brain dominant, which means you're more intuitive. You're in tune with your body. You're in tune with the universe because you have your cycle, your menses cycle. That's part of the lunar calendar, and so many other things. So when it comes to that process, women are more in tune for the most part. Women are also more neurologically advanced compared to men. So there's some things that the women are going to be more in tune with this, and they get this. Men, we sometimes don't understand it. Men are more logical because we're left brain dominant for the most part. And so we're more like, nope, I got to see this. I want to know the information. What's going to happen here? I'm going to make a decision off that, rather than going to be in it from an intuitive standpoint where you don't need information. You don't need nothing. All you need is yourself. That's a vast difference between the two. And even in my career now, I've learned how to tap in more into my intuition because I go by how I feel. And it's just a feeling of, it's a good vibrational feeling, some good motion of some sort. And it's something that just guides you along the way, but you don't look outside yourself. You see, when you're starting to go, I'm going to do this because of this, that's ego, that's past experiences, that's mindset, that's from the left side. You have to show why you're doing something. It sometimes is more reactive than anything else. The intuitive side isn't reactive. It doesn't make a decision because of something that happened. Usually the information comes and you just keep moving forward. I've done this with hiring people in our office for business. I've done this in my own life, making certain decisions, different career stuff, and so much more. I remember when I was going to choose my chiropractic school, a week before I had to send in my paperwork to go to Palmer and Davenport. Something told me I need to go see Dallas. I don't know why. I don't have any information behind that, but I just had that feeling. I went to look online. Tickets were like extremely cheap at that time. I don't know what it was, but I just said, okay, this is what I need to do. I got on a flight, went to Dallas. All of a sudden, as soon as I got there, within the first 5 minutes, I said, at the campus at Parker, I said, this is where I'm going to be. Just knew it. I didn't even know anything about the school yet. I didn't even get a tour yet. I just walked on the campus and was just like, yeah, this is where I belong right now. I did this when I moved to Arizona, when I went to Arizona State for undergrad. I did this when I came back to Chicago to open up my office. I never wanted to come back to Chicago. At one point, I was actually looking to practice in Italy. I was like, I'm getting out of the United States. I'm going to go to Europe. And something told me I had to come home to Chicago for some reason. Now, years later, it makes sense. I can see why. And I'm happy I made that decision. But you really have to learn to trust this. Intuition's a muscle. You have to trust it. And there's going to be times you're wrong. I mean, there's times I'm wrong and I'm happy about it. It's just like, oop, there we go again. But it's not a lot of times when I'm really getting better at focusing on it. Sometimes people go, well, you're Mr. Know-It-All. And it's like, I don't know things. It just happens. I can watch shows, like I watch movies, and I can feel what's happening next before it happens. I have no clue of how. And there's times I'm wrong, but I'm like, but most time I'll map it out. And it's because you get so in tuned, you're tapping into something else than the brain. You're tapping into something else than your programming, than your ego, than your past experiences, than what it may be. You really, really want to learn how to trust the intuition, because that's your soul's compass. That's infinite information. That's universal intelligence. You know, right brain taps into all that. It opens itself to the universe. Left brain only taps here, taps into the world information. Human, that's it. Humans are the ones that we need to compartmentalize and do all these other things, while the right brain It's open to all things. It can see more different perspectives on things. Right brain can be more compassionate. Right brain can understand why people make certain decisions and then what we can do to help change things, where left brain is more right, wrong, black and white. That's it. So again, I'm not one that likes to share what to think versus how to think. I'm more of a how to think guy. And so I'm really trying to tap into that how to think process. But number one, just to recap everything, if you're going to tap into your intuition, number one, you got to learn how to connect to your source, right? Connecting to your source is going to be the most important thing you can ever do. In yoga, the true aspect of yoga, that means union with self. You have to connect with yourself, your chi, your innate intelligence, your soul, your source energy, whatever the terminology you like to use. Doesn't matter. The label doesn't matter. But you have to connect to that and get practice on connecting and strengthening that as much as you can. There are things like meditation, breath work, journaling, artwork. It's something that you can express your heart more. Number two, you got to look at then from there, you have to learn what is your subtle feelings. Some people get a bodily sensation that they know. For me, it's around my chest and stomach. Literally right underneath my end of my rib cage and just a little bit in the middle of my chest. There's like a little feeling I get, and I don't know how to explain it. It's just a deep knowing, like ancient wisdom knowing. And when I get that feeling, I know I have to do this and do something. So you got to figure out what works for you. Some people get in their head. Some people see it. Some people feel it in their hand. I mean, there's so many variables, but you have to develop what's yours. And then from there, trust it and be okay that you may have missed it if you don't get it right. It's okay, because you're learning and you're growing. A lot of times you want to perfect things right off the bat, and the most successful people in the world had more failures than they did success. If you want to be successful with your intuition, you're going to fail before you get there. I remember in my practice when I was doing in school, when I was practicing energy medicine and learning how to really tap into my body and really use it as a tuner, a filter to understand things. I used to have a friend that would tell me the number between 1 and 10, what I'm thinking of. And I'm like, oh man, I hate this thing. And she's like, because you're in your head. She goes, get into your intuition. Feel what you think it is. And I did not like that journey in the beginning, but I will tell you, as time went on, I appreciated her very much. And if you're listening to this, I appreciate you. You know who you are, because it was one of those things where now I can do that with ease. And usually it's about 80-90% correct, which is kind of cool. One time I was 10 for 10 and I was like, holy cow, this is getting so easy. And now when I'm working with patients, if they come to me with something, I don't have to think it through. I could feel it through, and I'll know if that is something that we need to talk about, if there's a concern, and if it isn't. It's all guided by intuition, never by the mind. So have fun, right? That's the most important thing out of it all. If I could say the last part is have fun with this, okay? It is so cool how you will start to see and do things in a different way. And it's really intuition's your soul's compass, your soul's navigator. It's what guides you in your life to direct you to what you need to do, go through, and the experiences your soul is asking to have, reason why you're here, to gain, evolve, and expand. So really, really cool stuff. If you have any questions, let me know. Dr. Vic at empoweryourla.com. Or if you have some topic you want me to chat about, please let me know. I'm always looking for new topics to share and express to my listeners. I do this for you. So please let me know on that end. And also just some upcoming things happening at Empower Your Reality. We are launching our signature 5-week vision course. Okay. It is coming up. I'm actually going to be launching a workshop on it so you guys can have a better understanding to what that is. I will I'll be sending an email out. So if you have not, please jump on to be part of the tribe. You can reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, or you can even go on my website, empoweryourreality.com. There'll be a pop-up. Put your email in that. And what happens is you will go ahead and get part of this information. I'm launching this workshop by Friday. It's going to be about 30 minutes. And all it's going to do is explain why vision is so important. And then what you can do with that in your life. Even if you don't sign up for the class, that's okay. But the thing is, you're going to get something out of it. I promise you'll walk away with at least one thing to empower your life. So check that out. Go if you are not part of our email, go to empoweryourreality.com. Get connected. Shoot me an email if you want to go ahead and get part of that. If it's not via email, I'm sorry, not email. Signing up. through the website. And then also, if you want to shoot me a DM on Instagram or Facebook, go ahead. I'll get you connected with the link. As always, I appreciate you guys. This has been a lot of fun. We broke we're over 100 episodes now on the Mindful Experiment, and we are just cranking away, continually to grow and expand, and always looking to evolve to be that source for individuals to truly find and resonate and understand the beauty of who they are. Thank you for listening. Until next time, keep rocking and rolling.